understanding. Jesus shows up and he begins to mentor a group of people, first the 12, then the 70, then as many who were interested in attending his conferences. He started with what we know theologically to be the Beatitudes. He was teaching them another system of government that was similar but also surpassing in excellence. Are we together? And when he gets to chapter 13 of Matthew, then verse 11, please give it to us. Jesus was teaching them and they were confused as to the parables that he was giving. He had to downgrade spiritual realities to use a system that the people were used to. And then he makes a statement that I want us to read together if you can see. Ready? Please read. It says, he answered and said unto them, because it has been given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Please stop. He captures this body of knowledge that is allocated for the victory of the saints and he calls it the mysteries of the kingdom. There is an exact body of truth that is privy to those who are in the kingdom. Are we together now? This is very powerful. That means that our exploits is predicated upon our spiritual understanding, our access to this body of knowledge that the Bible calls mysteries. Everybody say mysteries. A mystery is a hidden body of knowledge. It's a formula, but it is hidden from the eyes and the knowledge of all. It is privy to a group of people. For instance, there are codes of communication that will only be understood by those in the military. Am I correct? They have communications, they have body languages that suggest certain things, but you will have to be in the military. When you are absorbed into that system, then they open up to you so that they can be communicating, and a layman who is not a military man may not understand. They are called mysteries. A husband and a wife can have codes of communication as far as the family context is concerned. Pastor can, for instance, tell his wife, get the visitor a drink, and yet the visitor never hears anything. By reason of intimacy, they have established certain codes. Are we together now? In the kingdom, there are mysteries. For instance, there is he that scattereth and yet increaseth. It's a mystery that only the sons in light can understand. It says there is he that withholdeth more than is meet and tends to poverty. For instance, why will a man dance his way out of shame and reproach? Dancing does not make sense to be a weapon of victory, but it is a mystery in the kingdom. Praise. Why should I sing and dance in the midst of situations and circumstances that are unfavorable? Because the Bible says you will reap in joy, not with joy, in joy. So if you are not joyful, the possibility of the harvest is not even there. These are mysteries. Listen, when things were missing in the Bible, there was a mystery that they engaged. It was the ministry of the prophetic. Alas, master, it was borrowed. He said, don't worry, there is a provision in God's economy where things that are lost can return. And I'm saying it prophetically to someone. Listen, do you know that whatever lives your life is still on earth? That means there is a technology that calls it back. And the bones were very dry. He says, son of man, listen, just because you could not see the bones did not mean they were not there. They were there waiting for a dimension of spiritual reality to call them back. That means relationships can be called back. Finances, money can be called back. Your passion, your fire for God, the things of the spirit can be called back. Please believe, find a way of believing what I am telling you. It is true. Are we blessed? Yes. You are not growing if your understanding is unfruitful. As far as the exact, listen, when it has to do with our knowing God and pressing into the deep things of God, it is infinite. We will never exhaust it. Even in heaven there is room to come up hither. We will continue to learn God as a book that never ends. Are we together now? However, as far as the victory of the saints is concerned, there is an exact body of knowledge that is finite. The knowledge that makes for the victory of the saints on earth is not infinite. It is finite. like the curriculum of a university. You can hold it and know that with all humility I have exhausted the length and the breadth as far as the victory of the saints is concerned. The understanding that the principles that make for victory is infinite already frustrates you from the start of the journey. You are supposed to be so blessed that you no longer try to look for things and you focus on him. He now becomes your project. He now becomes what the continuity of your spiritual pursuit is, no longer to get things but to seek him. If you spend your life trying to conjure these principles to work, you lived a wasted life. Respectfully speaking, it's not to insult you but to communicate truth. We were not designed to spend our lives hoping that principles work. Your lifetime is too short to be trying and guessing. Remember, we're talking time here. There is a level of accuracy that I must step into. Sort my finances, sort family, sort my health. Be like Abraham, that he was old and well stricken in age, and the Lord had blessed him in all things, so that now when I go to pray, I do not have any prayer point except to seek his majesty, to know him more, to serve him more, to see to it that his purposes are birthed. But that cannot be possible until the things that make for life and godliness are sorted out. So he granted us the mysteries of the kingdom, that these keys will bring us to a point where we can exercise the dominion of heaven in reality here and